Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now, in this video, I'm gonna be explaining to you 3 ways that you can feel more powerful right now. So, let's get started. The first one I wanna share has to do with the idea of what we are experiencing in the moment. Now, say for example that you are in a situation where you don't enjoy the fact that maybe you have to walk to work, or maybe you have to do things that you don't necessarily prefer to do. Looking at that situation, a lot of times we might feel resistance and we might feel like we are, in a way, like a victim of circumstance. An easy way to expand ourselves to a point to where we don't feel that resistance is to live every moment as if we chose it. This begins to switch the flip for how we view ourselves and how we relate to the world. If we simply allow the moment to be, what we end up doing is releasing a lot of the resistance, because we can then see it from the point of view as if we actually chose that experience. Now, there could be unpleasant experiences that we have to where at a certain level we may acknowledge the fact that we don't want to be in them. So the idea that we step in a mud puddle, it's not like we're just supposed to sit there and allow it to be and be happy that we're in a mud puddle, but the idea is to see it as a point of observing it rather than labeling it as being good or as being bad. As we begin to see it as if at some level we chose that experience, we then begin to realize that we have the control over our state of being. Now, the second way that we can feel more powerful right now has to do with the idea of understanding that the one thing in our life that we have control over is the way that we think about ourselves. It's the way that we relate to the world, and it's the way that we use our mind. Now, coming aware of this really gives us the ability to see that we control our state of being. And when we look at this, what we can do is then see that we prefer to be in a certain state, and that if there's something or anything that is not allowing us to feel completely powerful in the moment, a lot of times that comes from hanging on to ideas that don't serve us. So the way that we get through those is by seeing ourselves as somebody that, even though we don't control the situations that are happening, we do have control, 100% control over our own state of being. When we start to understand this, we realize that nobody can make us feel a certain way unless we first give permission for it. So the idea is that if somebody comes into your life and they're in a certain state and they want you to feel the same state that they're in, the only way you will feel that is if you begin to resonate with them, is if you begin to agree with them, or you begin to match how they're feeling or who they're being. But if you realize you have power over your own state of being, you then begin to lift yourself up to where they don't affect you as much. Now, the third way we can start to view ourselves as feeling more powerful is to realize we can be at the cause rather than the effect. Now, I want you to imagine that in your life, you can view yourself as either the actor, as either the main protagonist, or you can view yourself as an extra. Now, if you view yourself as an extra, a lot of times you'll feel that you are at the effect of all the bigger people, of everyone else. But if you start to realize in a way that you're living in a movie, and you start to think about it and relate to the world in that way, you can start to really develop a more powerful feeling inside of you. Because then you start to see that you can be at the cause and not the effect. You start to literally relate to people in a new way because you realize that you are having a unique experience, that you can be at the cause and not the effect. And if you start to view yourself as the leading role in your own life, you then begin to relate to people in a new way, and you begin to literally embody a new type of energy. You begin to see yourself in a new way, and that begins to change your self-image. So changing your self-image is all about realizing who you are in the present moment, living from that authentic expression of who you are, and then beginning to really continue to live in a powerful way. So I hope these 3 ways help you understand how you can feel more powerful right now in this moment by having these little realizations about who you really are. And other than that, As always, feel free to like this video if you liked it, share it if you found it of value, and as always, I will see you guys on the next vid. Alright, peace, much love, and namaste. Alright, bye.